Nick had this ability to connect with everybody, and when he became chairman of our board, he asked if he could come to one of our all-staff meetings, which we have quarterly. He arrived on the appointed morning carrying a gym bag and kind of clutching it and hanging onto it, and he went up onto the stage with the gym bag. He opened the bag and he put on a football jersey that just said Brooklyn across it. Immediately sort of connected with everybody in the room. Really, it was impressive. We were watching him sort of win over the crowd and warm to everybody. It was great.
He gave of his time, his talent, and his treasure as board chair, and continues to serve on the board as a trustee now. And so whenever Polly called, Nick answered the call.
When you look at Nick's commitment to the Brooklyn Public Library, what that centers around, and his commitment to educational institutions as well, what they all, I think, connect to is Nick's belief that in the absence of community, we have nothing.
His willingness to take on challenges and causes is just extraordinary. I don't see how he does it, because he's flying all over the place, he's taking on big cases, and yet he comes to spend time to work with our issues too. That's a lot of commitment.
It was a challenge transforming a school and a board, but Nick did it by listening. He listens to understand. He doesn't listen to figure out what he's going to say.
No one works harder and no one is more selfless.
Nick is a guy who has continuously used his platform and his skills to improve the lives of other people.
His passion of bringing together our board and staff, as well as his passion for his work, all came together in those years he's worked with us.
Nick's judgment and wisdom helped shape a 165-year-old school and prepare it for the future.
Nick always cared about many of the women at the firm to make sure that they had an opportunity to thrive and to grow and be promoted. He cared deeply about diversity, not only encouraged and promoted everyone, but also allowed people to find their passion areas and continue to develop their leadership skills.
Nick and the board has been the reason we could do this. No other board that I know of relating to a not-for-profit has had this kind of staunch support from its board.
When we honored him at our gala, he decided that he was going to break all previously held fundraising records. He just got on the phone and just started dialing for dollars. That really set an example for us. He's tenacious. He is really tenacious. But he also, he's fun.
Nick serves on many boards in his community and across the state. He cares deeply about his Brooklyn community where he has his home, and it shows by the amount of not-for-profit work he does on a regular basis, trying to engage the community, but also trying to raise funds and trying to be a steward.
Part of his vision was to make Poly seek to be the most diverse independent school in America and to have our board's membership reflect that diversity.
Nick's willingness to sit down and not only be interested in what we're doing, but interpersonally interesting. And that kind of combination doesn't happen very often.
So he has had my back every step of the way of my career, and I really, really appreciate him.
Today as he's being honored and recognized, it's really a shout out to the family, because to do this, you really need, the support of everyone involved. And his children and his wife were really instrumental. And many, many times Nick will host a function in his house and bring the community together. And so these are the things that make him, more than just simply a great lawyer, but really a great person.
And Nick said something that I'll never forget. He said, "Max, I love you, I believe in you, and I'll always be there for you." I was taken aback, right? And all I can say in response is that it will always be the same from me to him, and from my family to his family.